We're back. Did you record a video? Did you tell what you think the magic ingredient is going to be that's going to solve their problem? What was their problem again? Yes. Yes, the travelers were hungry and nobody had any food that they could share. Nobody had enough to eat. So, let's see if they're able to solve their problem by making a magic soup. I wonder what the magic ingredient is going to be. Remember, the traveler said, "We are making an unusual soup. It requires a special magical ingredient. I am certain we will find it in this town." All the eyes in the crowd watched as one of the travelers reached down and picked up an ordinary stone. He tossed it into the pot with a splash. "We're making stone soup," he said. "It will be nutritious, delicious, incredible, and edible. But it would taste better." He paused and sighed. "If only we had a carrot." So, do you think that the villagers think that the stone is magic? Do you think that the stone is the magic ingredient? Let's see. "Where would we find a carrot in this town?" the other traveler asked. "We knocked on every door, and everywhere we heard, 'I don't care, I won't share, there is no food.' Then perhaps we cannot make this delicious soup after all," they both announced with a sad shrug of their shoulders. "Oh, well," and they began to turn away. A child timidly raised her hand and said, "Wait! I might have a carrot." "A little one. I might have a small carrot." "Excellent!" shouted the travelers. "Bring what you got. Put it in the pot. We're making stone soup. This magical soup would taste even better if we had a potato," they added. A deep voice in the back of the crowd called out, "I have a potato." "Wonderful!" shouted the travelers. "Bring what you got. Put it in the pot. We're making stone soup. It would taste better still," they said, "if we had just a few more ingredients." Ingredients are the things that you add into something to cook it, to make a recipe, right? The ingredients are the different food things that you put together to create a dish. "Perhaps," said one villager, "I could bring a green bean." "Well," said another, "if you're going to bring a green bean, I will bring a kernel of corn." "I shall not be outdone," cried another. "I will bring an egg noodle." One by one, voices announced, "I will bring a slice of celery. I will bring a pinch of pepper. I can bring a sprig of parsley. I might have a tiny turnip." So everybody is shouting out that they have one little tiny small thing that they could bring. "Well, why are you waiting?" cried the travelers. "Bring what you've got. Put it in the pot. We're making stone soup." What seems to be happening right now? What are they all doing? The problem was that no one had enough food. But everyone had a tiny bit. Now what are they doing with the tiny bit of food that they each had? Yeah, they're all putting it into the pot. What's that called? It's called sharing. I think you're right. Everyone in town ran home to bring one small thing to put in the pot. Food flew through the air and landed with splashes in the growing soup. Soon, the huge pot was full and simmering, and a wonderful smell drifted through the air. So, is it the stone that's making all of the food and the wonderful smell? Is it the stone? No, it's not the stone. What is it that's making it turn into a nutritious, delicious soup? Yes, it's all of the food. It's all of the vegetables and other things that they're throwing in there. And who's doing that? Who's putting the food in the pot? Is it happening by magic? Or are the people of the village all doing it themselves? Yes, the people in the village are doing it by each putting in the little bit that they have. I'm getting suspicious. I think I might know what the magic ingredient is, and it is not a rock. Is it? What do you think it is? Is it the same as what you thought before? Or do you think now maybe something different is the magic ingredient that's solving their problem? The problem of not having enough food. The smell was so tempting. People brought out bowls, spoons, chairs, and tables. They placed hearty loaves of bread, chunks of cheese, and bowls of fruit on the tablecloths. Everyone came to taste the soup and marveled at the flavor. "Wow! It's amazing," said one woman. "These two travelers made such a delicious soup out of a stone." Did they make soup out of a stone? Is that what the soup was made of? They did throw a stone in the pot, but what was it that made the soup and that made it delicious? So was it the stone? "Out of a stone," said the travelers with a grin. See my grin. "And a magical ingredient." What's the magical ingredient, boys and girls? Sharing. Yes, it's sharing. Did you know? Did you figure it out before the traveler told everybody? Did you figure it out that it was sharing? Everybody in the village brought the little bit that they had and shared it. They all put it together, and when they all combined what they had, there was enough for everyone, and it was so delicious and wonderful. Look, there's even enough for the dog and the cat and the little bird. Even they get to have some delicious soup. Is that soup really made out of a stone, or is it made out of vegetables and all little bits of food that everybody in the village had? It's made out of all the little bits of food that all the villagers had. As the travelers left the town, they said, "If anyone ever wants to make this soup again, just remember the recipe. Bring what you've got, put it in the pot. Every little bit counts, from the largest to the least. Together we can celebrate a stone soup feast. A feast is a great big meal where you come together with a lot of people and you all eat a whole bunch of food. And at the end, it has a little bit of a recipe for making your own stone soup. So if you want, I will take a picture of this and post it at the end of the activity. So if you want, you could use this recipe and make it with a grown-up, because children cannot use the stove or anything really hot and anything with cooking, not the microwave either, all by themselves, because that's not safe. We don't want anybody to get burned or to have a fire, okay? So that is something to do with a grown-up only. Not with your 8-year-old brother and sister, not with your 10-year-old cousins, with a grown-up. All right, so what did you think of our story? Did you like it? How did the travelers and the villagers solve their problem of nobody really having enough to eat? They made the magic stone soup. But what was really the magic? Was it magical? Seems magical, but it was really something that we can all do. What? What was the magic ingredient? Let's look back and remember. Here's the picture. What are they doing? Here's what the travelers said in the story. Out of a stone, said the travelers with a grin. And the magical ingredient? Sharing. Sharing. They solved that problem with sharing. And in our small groups, we talked about how sharing can solve lots of problems, right? So, if you have not done your sharing picture, where you think about what is something that you can share and what problem does that solve, if you have not put that up on Seesaw yet, I want you to do that now. I saw some great ones. I saw a great one from Leah. I saw a great one from Trinity. I saw a few others. If you haven't done yours, where you think of a problem and then how you can solve it with sharing, then you should do that now. Think first, what is something that I can share? In this book, they shared their little bit of food, but there's lots of things that we could share. And if I share that, how does that solve a problem? How does that help someone? How does that fix something when I share that? Sharing is a wonderful, magical thing that really helps a lot of people and helps solve a lot of problems. I can't wait to hear your ideas about what problems you can solve with sharing. All right, guys, good job.